Hello everyone, my name is Sara Boltwala Messina and I am here on behalf of Food to Soil, San Diego's neighborhood composter. For those of you who don't know us, Food to Soil started in 2015 as an experiment. We operated in a regulatory gray area until 2017 when we were legitimized as a CRMC, a Certified Recyclables Material Collector, through changes made in the City of San Diego's Solid Waste Ordinance. As of March 2021, we have 600 residents who drop off their scraps with us for composting from all over the county of San Diego. We have 18 decentralized locations all over. One of those is in the city of Encinitas and the remaining 17 are in the city of San Diego. 7 of these locations are soil farmers who process scraps generated by the community on their properties, which range from backyards in dense urban neighborhoods to large urban farms. Unlike other community-scale composting programs operating through the country, we do not offer door-to-door pickup services for residential participants. My presentation today focuses on the untapped potential of community composting for California. I will be talking about the local policy hurdles facing community-scale composting. I will also share details of the Soil Farmer program, which is very customizable and is California's best bet at making room for decentralized composting programs to coexist alongside commercial composting programs. So what is community composting? You're all familiar with the definition of CalRecycle for community composting activities: 100 cubic yards over 750 square feet, which is plenty of room to make these activities operationally viable and financially feasible. SB 1383 goes one step further by not only adopting this definition of community composting, but also stating that the provisions of SB 1383 do not prohibit local government from making room for this type of activity in their organics recycling plans, and also stating clearly that community composting does not conflict with the requirements of SB 1383. This is so important because we run into this issue all the time where local officials tell us that our programs are not in compliance with the requirements imposed by SB 1383 on local agencies. I have email conversations with recycling specialists all the time who've cited SB 1383 as conflicting with community composting, and they use it as an excuse for not allowing us to offer our programs to their constituents. This is a very common misconception, and I'm really hoping that this group of people that's watching my presentation today will help us clear the myths and confusion around this issue. So to be clear, community composting needs to coexist with commercial scale programs. Let's be clear, it cannot replace large-scale facilities which are equipped to process larger volumes and streams that have a high risk of contamination. Community composting fulfills a niche role in a local government's recycling toolkit. It acts as a storefront for education and engagement of the community with their waste footprint. More importantly, it frees up that space on that organics truck and multi-million-dollar composting and ED facility, so we are not using those expensive resources to process materials that are very simple, like vegetative kitchen scraps that are clean and source separated and can be processed in a neighborhood compost pile. Every bucket or cart of material that is processed in a backyard or community garden is an extra bucket or cart of meat and dairy that we can divert from our landfills. So let's take a closer look at San Diego County to understand the policy hurdles I referred to earlier. There are two different roadblocks that prohibit community composting. First comes in the way of franchise agreements and solid waste ordinances that prevent non-franchised entities from engaging in fee-based collection and transportation of food scraps. The second comes in the way of zoning ordinances, which either prohibit composting in non-industrial zones or prevent composting of materials that are not generated on site. The red areas you see in the map are cities which prohibit community composting on both these regulations. The orange areas are jurisdictions which prevent either one of these activities. For example, County of San Diego allows us to offer drop-off points for the community in unincorporated county so they can deposit their food scraps, but they will not allow those scraps to be composted within the boundaries of unincorporated county because those scraps were not generated on the site that processes the scraps. Other orange areas like Chula Vista, City of Encinitas will allow us to offer the Soil Farmer program where participants self-haul their scraps to the processing site. But they will not allow us to transport these scraps outside their jurisdiction since that would violate their franchise agreements. The green area is the City of San Diego, which offers the CRMC designation to non-franchised haulers, allowing them to offer fee-based collection and transportation of food waste. They also allow composting of vegetative kitchen scraps on any parcel regardless of zoning. As a result, most of our drop-off points and soil farmer hubs are concentrated in the City of San Diego. We added a soil farmer in Encinitas last month and are actively recruiting soil farmer participants in Vista and Chula Vista. So who is a soil farmer and what does a community compost site look like? Let's take a look at the North Mission Hills Hub operated by soil farmer Sally Tinker, who composts for around 50 of her neighbors and earns an average of $400 every month for this composting gig.
Hi, it's Sally at the Mission Hills Hub. I've been a soil farmer for a year and a half, since July 2019, and we are chugging right along here and hope to keep doing the same in 2021. I'm looking forward to the day that we can all get together in person, but until then, let me just show you around our hub. So if you were a member at Mission Hills, you would walk down the sidewalk here and deposit your scraps here and then put on some mulch, which I have stored right there. We've got member buckets, a little bit of all-you-can-sift compost, and let me take you around to the other side. So here we are in the front. Over there, I'll walk you a little closer, is the holding bin, wheelbarrow, shovel, kind of a working area. And then when I step right out my front door, I've got these 5 bins here. Build them up one at a time. The C batch is cooking right along at about 155 today. Here's a spot for the next batch to get started. And let's see how the B batch is doing. Looks like it's nice and warm. Yeah, so I have screens under these 3 at the bottom. I keep them all covered when they're working, wire over the one that's most active, and then these beautiful tarps, which look nice and neat, for the ones that are further along in the process. So that is my introduction to the Mission Hills Composting Hub.
Soil Farmer program operates at 2 levels. Level 1 is for gardeners who simply want clean, source-separated scraps and want to use the finished compost for their own gardens. Level 2 is for those who want to earn an income by composting for their neighbors. Soil farmers are onboarded after a training and apprenticeship. Participants can choose to move up to level 2 after demonstrating discipline and commitment to composting at level 1 for 3 to 6 months. Recording data and tracking the life cycle of batches is very important for us. We have a Soil Farmers app, which allows the operations team to provide oversight and ongoing education to participating soil farmers. Let's take a look at the data and metrics we hold soil farmer participants accountable to. This is the Soil Farmers app. We use this app to keep track of all the composting activity that occurs at all the compost hubs located all over San Diego County. These are all the hubs that participate in the Food to Soil network. We look at the Ocean View Growing Grounds, which is one of our oldest hubs, and look at the batches that are cooking at Ocean View Growing Grounds. We have the batches listed as in process and finished. Let's look at one of the finished batches to see the kind of metrics we keep track of. So here this batch was built over 2 weeks using 5.5 32-gallon carts. It received 2 turns, actually 3 turns, because the third turn was into the curing area. The total life in weeks from start to finish when it was sifted is 20 weeks. The technician team spent a total of 7 hours from start to finish, from scraps to soil on this batch. And here's the temperature graph of this batch. So that's the Soil Farmer app. So to reiterate, any city or county can choose to join Food to Soil's network of decentralized community compost hubs. We are not asking for funding, financial support, or exclusive rights to make these programs available to communities. All we need is a letter from an authorized representative of the local government confirming that our programs do not violate any local code and explaining any requirements they'd like us to follow in terms of reporting or keeping our activities below any thresholds. We hope that you'll take the initiative to check out our programs and perhaps go a step further by sharing this information with your local government counterparts whom you regularly interact with and advise. Our website has many well thought out resources on model agreements and templates. If you'd like us to send a letter to a city or county explaining our programs, please send us an email with your information and the city you'd like us to reach out to. So thank you for listening to our presentation and attending this session. And we hope we can make community composting a reality for California and tap into that untapped promise and potential to bring local capacity for organics recycling right here, right now. Rot on.